Hi everybody, it's me, Jessica Lahore, and we're back with another Jess Talk. And this time, we're talking all about sports. Sports ball, woo! That's right. But before we get into this episode, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications, and you are not missing out on all of our streaming platforms for Jess Talks. We're getting through these episodes and through these seasons, and you don't want to miss out. Okay, sports, let's get into it.
Attention the whore, attention the whore, attention the whore, attention. Here I am walking down the street, seeing all the boys trying to take a peek. Shorts pulled up and chest out right. Come on boys, just take a bite. Look but don't touch, spin it round and round. Crazy topsy-turvy.
Okay, so let me talk about my sports journey. I very much fall in the middle when it comes to sports. I don't dislike sports. I don't love sports. I'm not knowledgeable about them, but I'm not like a dumbass either. I know rules of sports and how to play the game, and I like playing for fun with my friends. But growing up, I was like I was like put into sports like most kids were, and it was very different for everything. So like t-ball, I loved it. I loved baseball, I loved t-ball, but my coaches were always awful to me. I was picked on for being too short or not good enough or not like one of the popular kids. And I remember having a coach that was so patronizing that he was like, yeah, just put Zach on the pitcher's mound and see how it goes. And I wasn't really a pitcher at the time. And he was like, yeah, just roll it. It doesn't matter what you do. He was just really patronizing and made me feel awful. But even before that, so I've always liked baseball, t-ball, I even like it now. And I like going to baseball games. But I feel like now as an adult, I like going to sporting events for the food. I'm not going to lie. I like being with friends. I like drinking and I like eating and enjoying myself. There's nothing better than stadium food at a sports event, in my opinion, or like concession stand food or like food truck food. I just like all of that shit when you're watching a game. I'm not crazy. I like feed off of the energy of audience members that are at the game, that are on like my team. So I'm not really a Rockies fan, but I wore this because we're in Denver. I'm definitely a Cubs fan. Come on, Cubbies. And there's like a weird camaraderie with Cubs fans that like, even though they're suck, like
you're a Cubs fan when you start and you're a Cubs fan for life.
And that's how I was. That's how I got into it. And same thing with Bears fans. I don't really have a hockey team fan. I say I like the Bulls, but I don't really follow basketball. But going back to when I was a kid, I played soccer, and I remember hating soccer because it was outside and it was cold and you had to run. And so I was goalie for a little bit, and I used to fake pee myself to get out of playing. And by fake pee, I would actually pee myself, but I would fake that I accidentally peed myself because I had bedwetting issues as a kid. And so I could like capitalize on that. So when I didn't want to read books, I peed myself. When I didn't want to be the goalie at a soccer game, I peed myself. And then, oh no, I don't have to play anymore. So it was like a really easy out at the time. Finally realized I did not like soccer. I like it now, like if I'm playing with friends. The thing is like I'm a competitive person, but not when I'm playing these with my friends, like flag football or catch or even tag or whatever, frisbee. I'm not really a competitive person, but I am at the same time. It's a very mixed balance. So I got out of soccer all the time. Basketball, I like playing for fun for basketball, but whenever I was on a team, I'm just not like incredible. And even as a kid, can you imagine, I really wasn't incredible either. But I feel like when my parents would come to games, I was awful. And when my parents weren't at games, I did really, really good as a kid. What else did I do? I think I tried swimming at one point, but it wasn't for me. A lot of it was because of stamina. Like if you're not one to push through like the hard work to get to that place like I am now, you just want to tap out. Yeah, of course it's hard. It's hard because your body's not used to it. Of course it's hard because your mind doesn't know how to play. But the longer you do it, just like drag, I compare drag to sports all the time. Doesn't matter how new you are, you're not going to be amazing if you're new, but as you practice and you get better and you get better, you hone in on your craft, and that's when you become a professional athlete or you play for a certain college or you're just really hand-eye coordinated, which I am. I'm very hand-eye coordinated, can throw, can catch very easily, pitcher and catcher. And so I think it goes back to that balance of I'm good at sports, but I'm not amazing at sports. I have good hand-eye coordination, but I'm not like the best thing ever. I'm competitive, but I'm also not really competitive. I like to have fun with my friends, but I really don't take it that seriously. I like going to the game, but I'm not really watching the game in its entirety. Like I get excited when the crowd gets excited, and I boo when they boo, and I'll talk shit to somebody that I have no idea what's going on. And I think each situation is very different depending on what I'm doing. So sports that I would say I'm good at, I could definitely catch a football, can run with a football. Same thing with soccer. I love badminton. I'm definitely really like fucking badass at badminton. I could kick some booty. I'm good at table tennis, which I would consider a sport. I'm good at, not good at, I like to play tennis, but I'm really bad at regular tennis. Like I'm not good, but I like just knocking it, just like volleying it with my friends. Sports were never like pushed on me growing up. Like my dad was definitely the way to like, you're straight if you play the drums and a musical instrument. Whereas some dads are like, you're only a straight man and you're only a true man if you play foosball, the devil, as they say in was that Happy Gilmore? No. Yeah, was that Happy Gilmore? It was, no, Waterboy. The Waterboy. Mama says football's the devil. Yeah. You never saw it. Of course you didn't. Oscar, thank you, Michael. Appreciate you. But yeah, I was never in a household that pushed sports on me. I had an uncle that was super into sports, but my dad and I used to play catch with a baseball. He got me my own glove, got me a bat. My dad always tried to connect with me in different sports, like fly fishing is technically considered a sport. I never got into it, but like I know how to fish. It's calm, it's whatever, but I'm more of the sit, let my stick fish, and I drink until it wiggles a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, let's see what we got, and then I just got a pair of tampons or something. Who knows? Who knows what I caught out of the ocean. In terms of sports, I like kayaking. And I'm just kind of going into athletic things, but kayaking is a sport. I like hiking is a sport. Skiing, definitely love skiing. Love it. I did eat shit pretty bad one time and didn't know that I was bleeding whatsoever. I was in a gondola with my boyfriend and he went to give me head in the gondola. And so we took off the onesie and there's a bunch of blood all over because there was a giant hole gashed into my arm. And I was like, well, I'll be damned. And there's just blood going everywhere. So I like skiing, but I like casual skiing. I don't like doing the black diamonds and pushing my luck. Too many people get injured and hurt, and that's not what my life is. But I love the adrenaline rush of skiing, like the you could die, but you're gonna be okay kind of moment. I love swimming. I love scuba diving. Love hiking. Love. Now that I've become more athletic, I've been trying different sports or different kind of ways to be involved. I think there's such a difference, I guess, between sports and whatnot. I don't really follow teams. I get asked. I try to converse with people who follow teams, and I really have no idea. But I guess that's how they feel when I'm like talking about drag. I'm like,
Yeah, did you see this season and so-and-so missed her fucking words in the lip sync? And they're like,
and it's the same thing. Like,
yeah, there's 36 over 45, and the Blue Lions are up by 7. And if he doesn't pitch that through his hole to the left nut and around the river bend loop to the button hook, then they're gonna lose.
I'm like, oh fuck, that sounds really intense. In all actuality, they're just running left and then running right and then running back and around. And if you have the ball, just don't get tackled or touched or tag somebody. I don't know. There's always a rule. There's always a ball. There's always some rule. And they're never the same. It makes me think of in Futurama, there is an episode of like Splurge Ball or something like that, or Slurp Ball or whatever, and it's like futuristic baseball, but it makes no fucking sense. And it's the same thing now. Like if we change sports so much, which is one really cool thing, the consistency of rules and regulations of sports is something I think is so interesting. Maybe not rules about who can play or how much money can make. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about basic baseball etiquette and rules have never changed. 4 bases. You have a pitcher's mound, you have the same number of players, same way that you get out, same way you catch a ball, same way that you hit, same 3-2 strike versus balls, or moment. You can walk somebody if you get hit. Nothing has changed. And I think that's so fascinating. Same thing with football. The concept, maybe like the presentation has been elevated. Like you're not in a fucking sandlot and using a tire as first base and then your baby brother's bottle as third base. I was going to say baby brother's like a human, but that sounds dangerous. It's different from watching The Sandlot to watching now, or watching old black and white videos to watching now. But the rules stay consistent. And I think that's so fascinating. And that's pretty much across the board. All sports, when they've been invented, the rules have never changed. It's just gotten fancier to watch and more publicized. TVs, radios, talk shows. It's so invested. I would say that the amount of sports fans is just wild to me. And there was a question one time asked to Katya, like, who do you think is more ruthless, sports fans or drag race fans? And I do think it's drag race fans. I think that they're definitely worse and they're more angry, but sports fans, you can't convince them nothing. Like, this is my homeboy, this is my team, my honor, America, and I like have it tattooed on my side of my belly so you don't forget that they're home born, grown and raised, like this is my team, my family, I root for them. I don't get it. But you could say that with any industry. People are that way about music artists. People are that way about drag race artists. People are that way about their favorite painters and favorite poets and favorite talk show hosts. It's chefs. It's the same way. People get really passionate and really intense, but I know nothing. Do I know the basics rules? Like everybody learns how to play certain games? Absolutely. But I don't know anything technically. Everyone's like, who's your favorite baseball player? I'm like, Sammy Sosa. The only reason I say that is because it's the only name that I can think of. And I know that he hit a ball with a cork bat, and that got him into a bunch of trouble. Or what's his face? The baseball player. He was on Tom Brady, the Brady Bunch. I know he exists. He's football. I know that. I know. I don't even know that. So Venus and Serena Williams, I know them. They're tennis. Simone Biles, she's a gymnast. I know people through TikTok, and I know people through my friends of who they're fans of, but I couldn't tell you anything. But yeah, I actually really love sports. I'm not like a sports gay, but I don't mind them. I like watching them, playing volleyball. I love playing volleyball. Ultimate frisbee. Pretty inclined in my athleticism, but I'm just not competitive enough to care about what's happening in the sports world. I'm really not. I think that sports fans get way too much of a pass. Why the fuck can our hockey team win the Stanley Cup and then bend it because they fucking dropped it 3 times, but every hockey fan decides to make a bonfire of local furniture that they find in the street and just set up. People are hanging from guardrails and from street lights, and ladies got their titties out. But you worried again about bringing your kids to the drag show, but you over here at this sporting event, you got people setting other bitches on fire. You got these ones hate crime and another person. You have this one that's literally drunk and just fucking his wife here in the stands. You have people making out, and which is the same. People talk. The shit talking can get real nasty and intense. And you're worried about me? You're worried about me? You should not be worried about me. You should be worried about them sports fans, that foosball. Overall, I'm here for it. Athletic. I think it'd be really cool to play on a professional team down the road or just try it out. I think that'd be a really fun adventure to train like an athlete, but I would want to switch places almost. Like I would want to go through the same training as I would go through with drag, but switch with an athlete. I think that'd be really fucking awesome. Never would happen, but we could see. I like gymnastics, but I have too much of a fear of hitting my head. So it has gotten me in a lot of trouble when I would go to do a cartwheel and I just crumble because I fear of falling over, or I feel like I need to escape that fear. Even I remember in baseball, even when going to hit the ball, I was worried it was going to hit me. And yeah, it's going to hurt, but it stings and then you get over it and then you have a big bruise. That's kind of how I felt with paintball. Paintball is a sport to me. I went paintballing once and I would go again, but it hurt like a motherfucker. They're like, wear baggy clothes to help with the impact. The amount of welts all over my body, but it was like so invigorating at the same time. I did. I've paid attention. I followed directions. But part of it is like, it's such an investment like anybody else has with a career or a hobby or whatever. And when you're passionate about it, it becomes your life. And you have to realize that you're influencing and impacting other people to do that. It's so weird that people want to call us groomers. And we've talked about this, but life is grooming in a non-harsh way of saying it. It is grooming everybody or influencing everyone to be who they want. And that's why I really admire when queer athletes come out, because there's not really a space for queer athletes to feel really 100% safe to come out, even in 2023. And I think that's really unfortunate. I think that it'd be really cool to see crossover of out and proud queer athletes that would inspire other queer kids to want to go and do that if that was for them. The same way that I want to inspire other queer kids to find drag. Just the same way other chefs that are queer may want to inspire other queer chefs to come out and be proud. And God, every industry is different, but the idea is that we're influencing people based off of our passions. I would never go to a sporting event and say, see those baseball players wearing their tight pants with their butts and their bulges showing, and they're spitting on the ground and they're flipping off their friends and they're swearing at the ref. Oh no, I think they're grooming our kids and trying to teach them how to hate people and wear revealing clothing. No one's saying that. Because it's stupid. Because it's not true. And so I really love when queer athletes come out and they're like, hey, I'm contracted, I play for this team, but I can't even imagine the backlash that people get. Because queers in sports is just this taboo thing. And the amount of bullying and being picked on is ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'm sure it happens. Sports. Definitely something that I've connected with in my life, but not in the same way as others. Something that, again, I'm passionate about to the extent of loving to play the game, but not passionate enough to follow who does what, when, where, and why, and like be a season pass holder. But I do like to go to a game, get me a good old hot dog, some nachos, a beer, a soda, some popcorn, and scream with everybody else and sing the age-old tradition, even at a baseball game, of take me out to the ball game. Yeah, what's more gay than 500,000 people in a stadium in unison singing take me out to the ball game? Yeah. Gay. It's true. Tell me, what are some of your favorite sports down below? Are you a queer athlete? What were some things that you were good at, some things that you were not so good at? And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Attention,